What would you say to the advocate who you're like in that turmoil and that almost feels like the cyclical effect of, but I don't feel like she's ready to get her child back? Like, what does redemption look like in that process?
Yeah.
Of mom isn't ready.
Yeah.
Or even mom may never be ready.
Yeah.
How do we still advocate for mom as a woman, as a child
That's
of God
good.
in that?
That's good. Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, I've adopted 3 kids out of foster care, and I have testified against parents in court before. I have advocated against reunification before. So I am very aware of how this is not like a black and white, and that we have limited sort of control. Even though I do think there's a lot of research about how our beliefs actually correlate to the likelihood of reunification.
Wow.
There's really compelling research of just the way that foster parents, and I think that this could probably extend similarly to the work that you're doing. There are strong correlations between the way that we believe about reunification and our kids' parents and the likelihood of reunification happening. But while we can be really limited in what we are able to do and make happen, I think that the heart of how are we approaching this makes a huge difference. And so sometimes redemption in a child's story means adoption. Sometimes redemption for a mom even means termination of parental rights. And that is the sort of confusing thing of being in a broken world, seeking to bring God's kingdom to earth as it is in heaven, and knowing that that's not going to happen until heaven. And so we're like fighting for what Jesus came to do. That is what we're looking to join. It's his mission of restoration and redemption. But until all things are made new, there are going to be ways that we see God bringing redemption and bringing healing to something that is broken, that is not brought back to the original of what it was. There's this art form we often talk about in these spaces, kintsugi, where a broken pottery is mended with gold and becomes more valuable. And so I think part of it is believing for the moms that while they love their children, there might be a place where redemption and restoration actually looks like their children having another earthly forever family. And what we could do, what you all could do as their advocates and people who love them, is giving them vision for what it looks like to still be a parent, even when they're not doing the day-to-day of parenting, what it looks like to love and be available for their kids. I think one thing is our foster and adoptive parents, we're just learning more and more how much our kids need their biological parents. And there really is a movement of those of us who are seeking to speak this to foster and adoptive parents. And so I think that we're seeing more openness to adoptive parents really walking with their kids back into relationship with first parents. Well, as ready as first parents can be for that, the better these kids are. So if they are understanding adoption as redemptive and restorative, if they are focusing on their physical healing and mental, emotional healing, then they are still living and loving as a parent. They are doing what they need to do for their child, even if there's a part of broken relationship there. So I think that we can, it's not about putting our heads in the sand. It's not about saying, God wants this family to be together. We are sure of that. And so we are going to make this happen. We all have a commitment to protect vulnerable children. What it is, okay, in this broken space, until all things are made new, how can I be a part still of there being healing and restoration?